started with a text. "Hey, I see you." I didn't recognize the number. It was one of those anonymous ones that don't even show a name, just a string of digits. I stared at the message for a long time, trying to figure out who it could be. I told myself it was just someone messing with me, or maybe a wrong number. But as the night went on, I couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. I glanced at my phone again. Another text had come through. "You can't hide from me." I felt a cold sweat creeping up my spine. I couldn't explain why, but my heart started to race. Was it Sarah? I had broken up with her months ago. The relationship had been toxic, full of manipulation and arguments. When we finally ended it, I thought I was free. I thought that was the last time I'd ever have to deal with her. But now, with these messages, I wasn't so sure. I deleted the text, shut off my phone, and tried to get some sleep. The next few days felt normal, except they weren't. The first thing I noticed was the smell, the familiar scent of Sarah's perfume. It clung to my shirt collar when I was at work, in the air when I was eating lunch at my desk, and even lingering around my apartment, despite the fact that I hadn't seen her in weeks. It was a subtle thing, but it gnawed at me. I couldn't escape it. One night, after coming home late from a shift, I found my keys out of place. I'd left them on the kitchen counter, but they were now sitting on the living room coffee table. I was sure I'd left them in the kitchen. It didn't make sense. I checked the locks on the door, double-checked the windows, everything was secure, but my skin still prickled with that feeling of being watched. I told myself it was nothing, stress, or lack of sleep. But the messages kept coming. Not every day, but often enough to unsettle me. Sometimes they were just simple phrases, things I couldn't shake off, like, "I know what you're doing," or "You're still mine." I tried blocking the number, but it didn't stop. The messages started coming from a different number. And then one night, as I was walking home from the bus stop, I saw her. It was just a glance, a shadow in the distance, but it was enough. I had to stop myself from running. I told myself I was just seeing things. It couldn't really be her. But I knew it was Sarah. There was no one else who would be following me, not like this. I sped up, my pulse thundering in my ears. When I reached my apartment, I locked the door behind me and turned on all the lights. My hands were shaking as I checked the peephole. No one. Still, I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched. The next morning, I found something on my doorstep. A small, cracked mirror, just like the ones in the old antique shop that we used to visit together. I'd forgotten about it, about her obsession with collecting them, but there it was, staring back at me with its broken edges. I picked it up, feeling a chill run up through me. It wasn't even the mirror itself that made my stomach churn, it was the note wrapped around it. It simply said, "Remember me?" I threw it away, but something in me refused to get rid of it. That broken mirror felt like a sign, like a piece of something I couldn't escape. It had to mean something. She was trying to remind me of who I used to be, or who we used to be, but it didn't matter anymore. I was done. Then the phone call came. It was late at night. I saw her name flash across the screen. For a moment, I froze. I didn't want to answer. I couldn't. But something about that call, that deep sinking feeling in my chest, told me I had to. "Hello?" I said. "Why aren't you answering my texts?" The voice on the other end was calm. I knew that voice. It was Sarah's. "I've been trying to reach you," she continued, a strange, eerie calmness in her voice. "You should have known I wouldn't let you go that easy." My blood ran cold. I didn't know what to say. The words caught in my throat. "You can't get rid of me, you know." Her voice cracked slightly and then turned sweet. Too sweet, like honey coated in malice. "I'll always love you." And the line went dead before I could respond. I hung up. my mind racing. I rushed to check all the doors again and double-check the windows. My apartment felt too small, too exposed. And that's when I saw it. A figure standing just outside the window. I froze, my heart hammering in my chest. It was her. Her face was pressed against the glass, a distorted, sickly grin stretching across her face, her eyes wide, unblinking, seeming to pierce through me like she was trying to reach inside me. I scrambled back from the window, panic rising in my throat. My breath was shallow, my body shaking. I wanted to run, but I couldn't. I grabbed my phone, trying to call the police, but the signal cut out. A soft knock echoed on my door. I didn't open it. But the knock didn't stop. It kept going, relentless, like she was waiting for me to crack. My fingers trembled as I held the phone to my ear, hoping for someone, anyone to answer, but the line stayed silent. The knocking turned into something else. Like a scraping sound. It sounded like nails on wood, like someone trying to claw their way in. "Let me in, babe," a voice whispered through the crack. It was her. I could hear the desperation in her voice mixed with something dark, something far more terrifying than I remembered. "Let me in." I backed away, my heart pounding. This couldn't be real. It couldn't be. But it was. The night dragged on. I kept hearing noises, soft footsteps outside, shadows that flickered and danced just out of sight. Every time I checked, the world outside my apartment was eerily still. By morning, the fear was suffocating. I couldn't stay here any longer. I had to leave. I opened the door. The hallway was empty. But I knew she was still out there, waiting. She would always find me.